Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is October 25th, 2021. Let's look at one of my favorite indicators. It's the TTM Squeeze. It will tell us when the stock is going to go out, break out of the trading range. That's why it's one of the great indicator. So with that, let's check on the futures market here and see how futures are heading. So with that, as you can see here, we got a flat to little higher opening in S&P 500. As you can see here, we had great couple days. So let's see what's going to happen. There is some positive news around the supply chain that it's not going to be that bad. And then we got here Nasdaq a little bit weaker, as you can see here, still pointing to a higher opening. I'm willing to buy some names like Facebook, Snap, and some of these names which are beaten down. And then you got your Dow Jones Industrial Average. As you can see here, it's also pointing to flattish to little higher opening here, just 10 points higher. And then you got Russell 2000. Also, I think it's pointing to a lower opening. It's trying to decide where to go at this time. And now let's look at the bond market here and see what bonds are telling us. From a bond market perspective, as you know, bonds is a bigger market. Bonds are pointing to a lower opening here. And as you look through the interest rates here, interest rates are also pointing to a lower opening. That tells you stock markets can have a good day today, and it can be in the positive territory. As you look through the crude oil here, crude oil is a rocket ship, as you can see here, doing great here. Be careful, don't buy at the top here, wait for a pullback. As you go to gold here, gold is also pointing to a little bit higher opening here. Gold is a good defensive type play when it's down. Right now it's a little bit up here. Still there are some good gold names you can buy. So with that, let's jump in here. Look at the TTM squeeze indicator from John Carter. So as you look through here, we got major news here. As we look through, we got major averages pointing to a little bit higher opening. As we looked at, these are some of the key top news here. China is pushing to develop its own chips. I think it cannot do without foreign technology, especially United States. That's a good news here. China are doing their own chips. That will bring some good competition and some good products. And then you got your Jack Dorsey, Twitter and Square CEO. He's thinking about hyperinflation. I think that could be the case here. So we have to watch out our Feds here. Feds can open up and ratchet up the rates a little bit, which can cause some negative implications to stock market. We will watch this as usual. And then you got your Chinese automaker. They are upgrading their autonomous driving features here to challenge Tesla. That's also good. As we see some of these challenges, even technology will improve further. That's a good news here. And on the positive news here, you got American Express post the best day. That tells you travel is coming back slowly because American Express is big into travel. We should also look at some travel stocks like Expedia and so on and so forth. And then you got Intel here, Sinks. Intel is it's a great stock, but off late this is not doing great. I think AMD is taking the baton from Intel of late, and also Nvidia is doing great. I think I'll be watching Intel here. I'll be buying selectively and slowly to accumulate a position. Pat Gelsinger, Intel CEO, he can turn around the ship, but it will take some time. And then you got Beyond Meats. It slid big time here, 14%. Could be good to buy slowly. They do have some supply chain issues. And then you got Whirlpool here. They miss on elevated supply constraints. Many of you might have noticed if you want to buy some of these appliances, there's a huge wait time and hard to get these appliances. That's why Whirlpool stock did not get a beating here. They did pretty okay. And then you got Schlumberger here. Stock falls after profit matches expectations. These energy stocks have gone up so much. I think it's only natural for them to come down. Schlumberger is one of the better names here. We could slowly buy some and take it from there. And Honeywell here, stock drops. I think it's a good industrial. You could buy a little bit slowly and accumulate. And we got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat all down here. We could accumulate slowly and take it from there. So with that, let's jump in here and spot major trends. From a major trend perspective, let's quickly look at the ETF to figure out. As you scan through this, keep watching 1 month as an example. If you look at 1 month here, we got communications down a little bit. That's one area a little bit tepid. And you can also watch how the difference from 1 year high. So as you look through here, emerging markets a little weaker, still 10% down from 52-week high. As you scan through this, we got one more here, utilities down a little bit, and then we got healthcare down a little bit. And as you scan through, we got materials and XRT, which is retail, as well as XME, precious metals, and consumer cyclicals. Those are some patches here, a little bit not so strong like other stocks here. We could look at such trends. What we'll do now is we'll take it a notch higher, look at only major trends. From a major trend perspective, as we look through here, cannabis is one area which is a little bit weak right now. We could buy stocks like Growth Generation, Canopy Growth, and Tilray, and some of those names, and accumulate. And that will pay out very well as we go forward. As you look through here, human genomics here is down big time here. That's one opportunity for us to invest and take it from there. And we got some more patches here like lithium. You could invest, still down. And then we got blockchain here with the crypto. You can still invest in that one too. And then we got a few more as you look through here with TAN, which is solar ETF. You could still invest in some solar names. So that will give you a good idea about the big picture here. And some names like cybersecurity has gone up so much, it's almost at the 52-week high. Same is the story with the cloud computing. It's doing great. I would not touch at this time. Let it come down. After the earnings, they will present some good buying opportunities. I would jump in at the time. So with that, let's jump in here. Look at TTM Squeeze. You can look at one of my video that talks about TTM Squeeze in a little more detail, but here we'll just sum it up. As you look through in the TTM Squeeze, all you have to look for is red dots here. The moment you see red dot, keep watching how is the longer term C wave doing. If it is above the zero line here, that means it's a positive or a bullish breakout. That's when you buy the stock. You see a red dot here, and the moment you see the C wave above zero line here, that's when you buy. That tells you there is a red dot indicates that the volatility compression. Bollinger Band is inside the curtain channel. It has to break out. The volatility has to reduce. So that's why it has to go up or down. And C wave tells you if it is above zero line, it is going to break higher. Otherwise, it will go lower. So that's how I kind of look at this TTM squeeze here. You can also look at multiple time frame. That's one thing I always do. Normally weekly squeeze will last for a couple of weeks. Daily squeeze will last for a couple of days. Weekly squeeze will last for a couple of weeks, and so on so forth. And what we'll do now is we'll look at the stocks with the TTM squeeze. I want to look at a little more stronger candidates. That's why I looked at gross margin greater than 20%. These are a little bit better run companies, and also volume greater than 1 million. So these are a little more stronger candidates. Let's look at that to begin with. So as you look through here, we got a few stocks here. You can look at stocks like AMD here, 119. AMD is a little bit high for me. I would wait a little bit. As you look through here, I'm trying to look here. As you look through here, it's almost at the top here. See here, 10-day, it went up nicely. 1 month went up nicely. 1 year, 51%. I would wait a little bit. On the other hand, stocks like Zynga here, you could buy slowly and take advantage of this stock dropping here and take it from there. There is a there is a 1-day squeeze here in Zynga. We should look at that one here and go from there. And then as you scan through here, we got Pinterest, which is down after this whole saga about PayPal buying Pinterest. You could take a look at Pinterest and see if it's worth buying here. As you look through here, Pinterest has gone up with the with all this PayPal acquisition news here. At this time, it could be a little bit higher. We could still take a look at Pinterest and see if it's worth buying here. And then as you scan through, we got few more here: Cisco, Right Blockchain, and so on and so forth. We'll try to see if it's worth buying some of these stocks. Right Blockchain is one of my favorites here. We could look at that one too. As you look through here, we got Sunworks here. Sunworks is also a good one here. Stock has been down, trying to improve here. We could take a look at Sunworks also. So with that, we got a couple more here. Even Amazon.com here, great stock. Right now, it's trying to see where to go. You could still buy some Amazon call options or a call spreads and take it from there. And then you got few more here as you scan through. I've highlighted the stocks with a positive sales growth and gross margin in green color here, so it's easy for you to look at and take it from there. Keep watching the stocks which are making some progress in 1 day, 5 day. Those are the ones you have to focus on, so that way you get the better candidates. Also watch the RSI levels. If the RSI is high, then wait a little bit. There is no point rushing here. But if the RSI is low, then you can slowly invest in those names. So next we look at a few more here and take it from there. And we got few more here. We got Intuitive Surgical, one of my favorite plays here. Stock is trying to turn around, as you can see here. This is also a good one here. Next, what we'll do is, we'll look at a shorter list. I know many of you don't want to look through this big list here. Let's look at the shorter list. Here we look at only growth stocks with volume greater than 1 million and breaking out of the trading range. This typically produces a small list here, so you can work through the list. As you look through here, we got Zynga, Cisco, Right Blockchain, IDX, and so on and so forth. Keep watching what's happening the 1 day, 5 day. Some stocks are trying to break out here, like Hldg Mining, little known stock here, trying to break out. As you see here, we got Gilead after a long time. This stock is also trying to break out here. And as you scan through, we got a few more candidates here, including VTNR here. And as you scan through, we got a few more here. AQN, it's also trying to break out. So this is a shorter list for you if you don't want to sift through all the big list here. So with that, I think what we'll do is we'll look at one or two more stocks in a little more detail, so that way you know how to look at some of these stocks. Let me go into Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade here and bring up TTM Squeeze chart here, and we can look at few stocks here. So let's go to TTM Squeeze here, go to 4-grid chart here, and let's bring up few names here. Start with Zynga ZNGA. As you look through here, Zynga stock is we got a break, we got a squeeze forming in 1 day chart here. As the squeeze is forming, keep watching the long-term C wave. Look at the way it's curving. It's trying to curve up here. At this point, it's not yet bullish here, but as you see here, since the curve is trying to go higher, there is a positive bias. It's trying to curve up, so that tells you, there is a good news that this stock might go higher. And keep watching the longer term monthly wave. On a monthly wave, it's still above zero. That tells you can start slowly buying this ahead of this squeeze here and accumulate. And we'll look at one or two more here. Let's look at Pinterest here and see what's going on with Pinterest. As you look to the Pinterest here, we got a squeeze forming in a 3-day chart. As you can see here, 3-day chart. When the squeeze is forming, longer term C wave is below zero, and this is also trying to curve up a little bit. So that's why you could slowly buy into this Pinterest here. And what we'll do is we'll see if we can look at one more chart here to get a little more better idea and take it from there. So what I'll do is I'll bring up a different chart here and look at Pinterest quickly. All right, so let's look at Pinterest here. As you look through here, Pinterest is coming down after this big face announcement from PayPal that they might acquire, but now the news is off. The stock is dropping here. Right now it's bullish, as you can see here. IV percentile is a little high, so if it drops a little bit, I would buy some Pinterest and take advantage. And then we look at one or two more names here. Let's look at RIOT Blockchain, RIOT. And RIOT Blockchain, as you can see here, it's also nice on the balance volume. I like this. It might do a bearish crossover here with the red line might cross over the blue line here. Check-in money flow is also pretty strong. Let's go to TTM Squeeze chart here and see what we can make out. So as we look through the TTM Squeeze chart here for RIOT Blockchain, as we scan through, we got a weekly squeeze forming. When this weekly squeeze is forming, look what's happening in the long-term C wave. That's barely. I mean, it's trying to get above zero, as you can see here, minus 1.4, a little bit below. That's why I would accumulate this. This is also a little bit, ahead of the curve here. We are buying a little before actual trading signal is forming to give a clear indication, but we could really see how the wave is trying to go higher. That's why we could buy this slowly and accumulate. Let's look at one more here, Sunworks, SUNW. As you look through Sunworks here, this also as you scan through here, trying to see where the squeeze forming. I think this is close enough. We got a squeeze red dot. After that, we got a blue dot here. When that's happening, look at the C wave here that's down here. So this is why you got to be a contrarian to buy this, because the C wave curve is curving lower here. I would not jump in at this time. So we'll look at one last one, which is Amazon.com, AMZN, and take it from there. Amazon.com, as you look through here, so there is no squeeze forming here. I would probably skip this one here. There's no clear squeeze. Let's probably look at one more here and go from there. As you look through here, let's see. Yeah, probably let's look at ISRG, one of my favorite stocks here. All right, ISRG is trying to make a squeeze in the daily chart. When that's happening, look at this wave here. It's above zero. Then there is a dot in the 2-day chart, and we got the C wave above zero. That's a good sign. Let's also look at a bigger chart here and see what's going on. So as we look through ISRG here, nice on the balance volume. I love it. Check-in money flow is also trying to improve here. And right now it's bearish, as you can see here, which is okay. So we could take advantage of this and go to our trade tab and try to buy some ISRG. ISRG is a high dollar stock here. Many of you may not want to buy up front. It's a good one to buy and accumulate. But if you want to play options game here, you could go probably 100 days out here and you could buy a spread. So stock is at 341. So you could do 335, 345 spread here. So let's go here and look at that. Looks like there is no 345. So what we'll do is we'll do 333 and 433 or 333, 346. That's a good spread here. We could do that one. So let's do that and buy the spread here. So we are buying here 336 and we are selling 346. There you go. 346.67. There you go. So you're paying $5.90 here for this spread. It's a little about $10 spread, so you're going to double your money. So as you look through here, if the stock stays about 340, which is just below the current stock price, you'll make money. And as you look through here, max profit is 590 and your cost basis right now is let's see here, your cost basis right now is 744. So right now it's it's not a double your money proposition. You're paying 744 here to make 590. It's not a great proposition here, but it's a good trade. let's see, 333, 346. That's good here. Buying power effect 744. It's a good one. It's not a great trade, but you could take this trade and go from there. And so with that, this is how you kind of look at the trade and analyze what to buy, what not to buy, and go from there. Let's quickly look at this one more time here. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. So with that, let's wrap up here. So this is a list of the stocks I would look at, to initiate my even the stock outright buying or a call option buying and go from there. With that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.